Fine. So now we will be looking at how we are gonna handle this forms and stuff like that. Okay. So the first thing what I need to do is, once we are opening here, let me also do something like I need to git pull origin, not origin. It's gonna be upstream master. So that's the first thing I need to do, so that everything gets updated first. And then once it is done, I guess I need to start. Let me start using npm start. But before that, let me open an incognito window here so that we have both these two things perfectly. All right. Now here, I guess someone left, right? Okay, I don't know who left. That's fine. um, so this is going to be the application that's now running right now. Oh, wow.
So I
So
don't know.
something's totally not working. One moment. Okay, so it works. Perfect. Now, I don't know which one actually screwed up. I guess it should be fonts.googleapis.com. All right. So now the main thing what we are trying to do now is, for about and contact, we are able to get these things pakka, right? The only thing we need to do is for the experience, education, awards, projects, skills, hobbies, and hobbies, etc. The first thing we need to do is we need to find a data structure for everything. And another thing is, with respect to the forms, we have hard coded this part. This needs to be taken from the way it is going to be happening. So what kind of a form element that's been used and stuff like that, that's what we will be doing. Right. Sorry, I guess Anu or someone was asking a question. What was it? Okay, I guess no one is asking any questions now. Good. Okay, so the first thing is how. Let's see how we are actually making this change. So it says current page here. Okay, so in this case, if you go to the React Dev Tools and go to your app here, we have states as one is current page and one is resume. I thought this was actually changed. I thought this whole state, oh yeah, it's still not changed exactly. So I was waiting for someone, I guess it was Dibakar. Dibakar said that he's gonna change the whole thing, but unfortunately, I don't think he has changed anything. So um, right, so we will just go with this one. So right now, if you click on this, it's gonna change this state to about. And if you click on contact, it's gonna change to contact. And once you change it, it is this current page, the state.current page is getting passed on to the main. So inside the main, you could see that current page is being consumed, resume is consumed, and then set section is consumed. So maybe the set section is, wow, what is set section actually? Sorry, just a second. Let me have a look at what it's actually. This dot set section. Okay, it's gonna set the state again with the current section. And so state.resume. Resume, I don't think we will be using resume, because resume will be consumed by this one, but these three things are being consumed here. So if we go to the forms again here, we could see that based on the current page, resume.current page, which means resume.contact. We'll see what exactly is there in the resume.contact. So if you go inside this and if you go inside this contact, you have email, phone, and website, and that's what is being said here, right? So now let's have a quick look at how is that being displayed on the page. So we are taking the object.keys, which is gonna be um, email, phone, and website. These three things are just text. So that's gonna become as email, phone, comma, website dot map in an array, right? So this would be form key is equal to email, sorry, key is equal to 1. Then this FE is the one is here. So it's gonna go as this one, like it is just checking whether it is the summary or anything. So at this point of time, we can create a new file, which is gonna say something like um, data types.js, all right? And we can export a default object which will contain all these data types, but we need to make sure that this is not being changed or something like that. All these data types needs to be the same. So if you open this resume, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a JSON dot stringify $r dot props no dot state dot resume, and it's gonna show us like this. So we have name, location, current position, summary, email, website, phone. These are the different things we have right now at this point. And then with Anushri, are you still here?
Yeah, yeah.
So we will be adding other fields to experience, education, awards, projects, skills, hobbies. These are all arrays at the moment, but these will have individual objects like this inside the array. So that's what we are going to do. But for now, we will be deciding on the types. So right now, let's go with these things. Okay. So if we just copy this one, it's going to be name. Um, Name can have some more properties. For now, we don't know what exactly we have. We will be putting it into.
Maybe first name and last name.
No, not like that. So name is the field. This field
Okay.
in the about, this name field might have extra properties to be sent over to the, what do you call this, to the form element. For example, it could be a read
Okay.
only field, it could be with a different class name. So these kind of things can
Okay.
be passed on to the form, right? Something like that.
All right.
So let's copy the location. Then okay, actually I'll do one thing, I'll just copy this whole thing so that I can easily scrap things from it. So now we have got this complete data structure. Let me get rid of the view word wrap. So these are the first four things that are there. Obviously, I cannot use name again. Then after this, I've got the contact thing details. So let me copy these things and add it here. So I really hope until this, there is no repetitions, right? That's
Yeah.
great. So we've got these things perfectly. Now, instead of like having these things like this, it's gonna be a bit cumbersome. So what I'm gonna do is, this is about and this is contact, right? So I'm gonna do a const about. It's gonna be a set of details, which is obviously it is similar to this one. So I'm just gonna copy this whole thing, place it over here. And then instead of this, I'm just gonna use a spread operator called about, okay? And for, I guess summary also goes in, right? Right. Yeah. And then another thing is there's going to be const contact,
Contact.
which is going to be again another object which contains all these three things. So I'm going to do this as this way. So contact, then I'll add this here. Now if I just command A, command V, it goes this way. Right now, why I'm doing this way is because we can clearly see these four belongs to this, these three belongs to this, and this is going to work the same way how we were expecting this to work. So what we can do is we can quickly check if that is the right case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one here. There is const about, there's const contact. We added two things, and what if we do this, and it's going to give you the same output: name, location, current position, summary, email, website, phone. This is what we need, right?
Yeah.
Great. Now Anushri, now it's your part.
Education.
So I'm just going to copy this whole thing, like, this experience and all these things. So let me try to find these things. Where exactly is this coming in from? Priya, do you have any idea where we are putting the experience? And oh, it's here.
Yeah.
So we can directly use this. So these are the things will be like equal to this const experience equal to these things and blah 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 blah. So all these things can be added here as well. So it's gonna happen this way. Any questions so far, like what we are doing and stuff like that? Anyone who
No,
do not understand? Yeah,
I wanted to know how do you do that word wrap thing? Like selecting all together by clicking that I know, but like
simple
how
thing.
do you?
This is Visual Studio Code, and this
Yeah.
works even in Sublime Text. If you are using Sublime Text, I press the
Okay.
middle mouse button and then drag
Okay.
it like this. This is a vertical selection,
Okay.
and I do one single selection like this. See, nothing is selected, just it is just staying there. All these things are just staying there, and I press Command D in Mac or Control D in Windows. D
All
for
right.
duplicate or select the word. It selects the
Okay.
whole word as a whole. All right,
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
great. So yes, now the next thing is we need to add the different values. So I guess oops, I've got a sprint review planning. No, I'm not going for it. It's my last day here. All right. So if you go to issues/8, that's where we have everything here.
Yeah.
Um, so for the experience, let's start with the experience. So it's gonna be type. Uh, Experience type needs to be like, it should be, type is a generic word. So I'm just gonna put type,
Okay.
and that's gonna be something. Oh my God, we are almost coming like a TypeScript here, but I don't want this to become a TypeScript. But TypeScript is actually a good idea to know more about it. So company, or instead of that, you can do employer. Whether it's a company or a school, that's
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
be an
That
employer
would be
for the
fine.
experience. Sorry,
Yeah. This would be fine.
start date, end date, current. So end date. This is the reason why I put like this is can be null,
Yeah.
and this is a checkbox or boolean. Now
All
you
right.
understand, right? This could be any type of an input. It could be a text, it could be anything. But currently in our forms.js, what we are doing is it's either a text area or a text. That's all we have written. So we need
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
enhance this form element thing as well. So form element currently supports only two things. One would be text, another thing will be text area. So I will create a issue on that too. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So now the next thing is title. Okay, that's a good idea as well. Start date, end date is going to be common for this one as well. So I'm going to put an exp in front of it. Current, yeah, let it be exp current as well. And the next thing is project title. Exp title is going to be something. Then we have education. Education will have, oh, there's also so
We
many
also
things.
have projects. Yeah.
Nice. So how are we having those things here? We have got projects directly here. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's projects, right?
So this project title will be there in projects also and experience also in case like
Got it, got
all
it.
the
So that's
details.
going to be an
Yeah.
exp title. It's an exp title. This is going to be proj title.
Yeah.
And the
But
next thing
both will be same. Like both can be same.
can be same, but it will not be always will be same, right? Like
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
example, my
Can be.
experience as a React JS developer, but my project title could be like admin of cats and tech or something like that, right? There is a
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got project title, then tech stacks or skills. Now comes the is Abir still there? Abir.
Yes, sure, I'm there.
So right now we might have a lot of mix up between different things. For example, skills might have skills are like really the main list of skills, and then the project might have got some skills. So these things need to be like normalized.
Okay, sir. That means different type of databases we need to create.
Something like that, exactly.
Yeah, and we need to establish a link or foreign key stuff, kind of.
Kind of,
Yeah.
but how do you do it in JavaScript is the main question. And we do need a uh,
JavaScript is not made for that, na sir. I think
JavaScript is not made for that, unfortunately. Yes,
yeah.
and
As
we
you
need to
said,
find we need to
can.js, next.js, you said, sir.
yeah, next.js is mainly only for in the back end to access the database from the node.js application. We are either using next.js or maybe we are planning to also use PHP MySQL. If it is PHP MySQL, it's going to be a different
PHP
story.
MySQL is evergreen
Evergreen,
idea.
exactly. It's been supported
Yeah.
Yeah.
everywhere. That's the good thing about. So right,
But
and
will it
what
be lightweight, sir?
it should be lightweight, bro, because obviously a lot of computers are. Hey, don't mind. Please don't call me sir. Okay,
Oh,
it's
sorry,
kind
sir.
of like a.
Sorry, sir.
Just call me
Okay.
Praveen. Okay.
Fine, fine.
So yeah, it needs to be lightweight because we don't know how bad people's systems will be. So it should also
Yeah.
consider the
So we need to take care of worst case
worst
scenario.
case scenarios needs to be taken care. Some people could have a bad internet connection, even that we need to cater everything. So
So
it's
PHP is
it's
lightweight, sir. I have like very little experience with PHP.
leave the PHP part because this is mainly about the front end.
Yeah.
PHP, the server that I have currently is a good, it's a decent server, so the response times will be really
Okay.
good. But the amount of data that we are processing on the client side needs to be really
Okay.
good. So that is the main thing we should be concentrating in terms of
Yeah.
optimizing the data structure.
Yeah.
Superb. So yeah, so we have got this skill set can be like one of this something like that. So experience has this one as well. Also, we will be putting the exp skills as well. So that could also come from the skill set. Now we've
Uh,
got yeah.
Excuse me. So what I was thinking is like we have worked in some company and we have worked on some project and it has a title. So that title will go there in experience, but the description of that project, the skills of the project could be there in that projects thing. So the experience will be linked to projects through the title. That's what
Happy.
I thought. Yeah.
Now
So
we will be some.
we don't need description there
No, this
in
is general.
experience.
It's a generic description, right? Or should we completely remove this one?
I don't think it's needed. We can keep it.
What is your idea, Priya? Priya, you started this whole project, so I guess you might be good enough to answer this one. So, what do you think about this? Shall we just completely get rid of the description part and experience, or what shall we do? We'll see. One more thing is like how we are going to display this whole structure. Like, for example, if you have something like this, okay, let's go to represent.io itself. Priya, are you still there? Are you able to hear us? We are not able to hear you.
Hey, sorry, yeah, I was on mute. Sorry.
Happens all the time. Yeah, tell me, Priya. So for now, let's say if yeah, you talk, I'll try to add the content here and see how these people are displaying. Priya, you carry on.
What? Sorry.
So how are we planning to display the the Anu, you asked the question that you will be the right person to.
Okay, so there are two ways. Like what I was thinking was in the experience, we just have the project title and the skills used and description would be there in the project panel. So we don't need to add it in the experience. We can link it with the project title or project would have the experience ID. This is one thing. And we can also keep the project experience description. So should we keep it or not? That's the question. What would you like?
Mm, um, Yeah, I think that makes sense actually. Praveen, what do you think?
Now that's what I'm actually trying to see. Like this one has a lot of fields. Now when you open here, it says hello world company, and it is also asking for a URL. So https example.com or something like that. And then there is also a description. Definitely there is a description here. And if I add a project here, for example, I worked in hello world from
Mhm.
January till um, 2020, and I give like I currently work here, so that it is going to stop me. And also if I don't give this, it is not even accepting the value. So there is some kind of like a validation function as well here, which is
Mhm.
really good. So I currently work here, location world, and description doing nothing. So I click on done. So this actually gave me a small gist of the things. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a project, but this one is again, if I say hello world, it is not asking me anything. Being witty. Oh wow, nice. https hello.com, something like that. I was just being witty here. Witty means doing nothing, guys. So okay, so it looks like this is a complete different set, and this is a complete different set.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So how shall we?
Sometimes people do project not in the
Not related to the company
within
as
the
well.
company. Yeah. So
Like the projects can have things which are done under company, and it can also have. Uh, it does not necessarily have an company ID or experience
I guess
ID.
yes. I guess there could be. This is a valid point. I guess we should just instead of experience ID, like instead of that, we can just put like employer or something like that. And obviously, when we saw that here, these people they have got a couple of different things. Like so, we've got the position, which is the title. Then we've got the company name, company URL. So company name, employer is there, and then we can also add the URL as well. Sorry, what's happening here? Sorry, it's my fault. So URL. So project title is okay. Then we have got start date and date, currently working here, everything. Then the title, which is going to be the first thing ever. We have got the new one as type, and then we have the description as well. Now, either we can select it. So this one will be either we can select it from the previously added experience, or we can just go with a new one, something like that. So now,
Okay.
did you see that this is kind of like not the right thing? Proj company, like Proj employer or something like that. And we can also add the way how it should be labeled and stuff like that. So, oh my God, we are running out of time now.
project employee doesn't make any sense.
Mm, it could be working for yourself as well, as a freelancer
Self
as well.
project. Yeah.
Yeah, will that work? What is this thing? This is location. Ah, we totally forgot about the location as well now. So let's add that. Right. So project location, that's gonna be with the thing. We can even connect with map and stuff like that. So if you go to projects, let's see what all things they have asked. They have just asked the URL, project name, and URL. So we can also give project employer and project URL, something like that. I guess that makes better sense. Uh, any questions so far?
No.
And now we have a tough time of like combining this and that, so that will happen obviously. And then we've got the skill set as well. So skill set JavaScript, they haven't done anything, like literally they have just put it as like a normal list item. So it's going to be just the skill name, I guess. So we need to also look into what you have added to it. So
We can keep just the skills also, but we can have it this way.
mhm. We can have
Do
something like a
you have
grouping.
a scale?
Sorry.
Do you have a scale like how strong are you in like the bar?
Like
Hey, that's a good idea.
star ratings
Exactly,
type.
that's a good idea. So
Yeah.
okay, so skill name. Uh, then we have got a skill rate. Anything else? Category maybe.
Instead of skill rate, we can have something like intermediate,
Can be used in
beginner.
Let us
parallel
skill
process
rate,
as
right?
well.
So skill rate can be either intermediate, start, beginner, or
Uh,
expert or something like that. Oh, is
yeah.
there skill experience maybe?
Okay.
Anything else? Let's go with education then now. Or okay, so this is the basic thing. So for these things, what we can do is for now we can add something like there could be a type. Name is going to be definitely a text. Then there could be a label which is going to be name again in this case, or maybe we can call it as full name. Then we've got type, label, and then we need to have like options as well in case if there is like multiple options. So options can be given this way, like um, name, value kind of thing. Then what else we have got here? So I'll think about this one and then I'll add this to the issue as well. How does that look like? Is this a good progress which we made today? Like was it like a bit clear? I'll add all these things. Also, the recording will be shared. This will be nice. But we need to start working individually on this file this way. How does that sound?
Also,
So yeah.
So we got a good, clear understanding. Anyway, I'm I'm gonna be late by 8 minutes for the meeting, so I'll just go and join them as well. Any questions? Let's answer them. Let's start putting them on the issues 8, and that would be really helpful. So I'll continue with my sprint planning. We have got another 2 minutes. Like within 2 minutes, if you have any questions.
also.
No.
All right, guys. Then thanks a lot for everyone's time. I'll post this one and also I'll add these contents to our Slack or the issue itself. That would be the best thing we can do.
Should
Okay.
I add for education as well? Similarly, like you did for experience.
Yeah. So we will do one by one quickly.
All right.
Um, so who is gonna take up? So because everyone is being assigned, like I
Yeah,
don't know
I
how.
was assigned education. Okay.
Right. I get it. I get it. So yeah. So let's start one by one. Everyone start creating a branch with your issue number, which is going to be 13 hyphen whatever it is. So start adding the files and then let's see how this, okay, this might start becoming a huge conflict now because obviously this needs to be done in a, what do you call this? In a sequential method because it's all in a single file, right? The data types file is a
Yeah,
single
yeah.
file. So
Yeah.
that's another thing. So we need to think about that. So I'm
We
just going
need
to
to
copy.
make different like folder kind of data types where we can store about, contact, different files.
No, brother, that would be a nightmare for us to like kind of like get this thing done, right? So that would be a real nightmare. Yeah, think about that. That would be bad. But yeah, that's a better way for making this thing work. But okay, this is for label, individual label. Yeah. So it's gonna have something like this. Wait, what? Oh, and for the whole thing we discussed, and it's work in progress. We can add the whole thing now here. Okay, that kind of helped the whole project, hopefully. So let me know if someone has any questions on this. And let's see the preview, how it looks. Yeah, it looks pretty decent. Right, guys, I'll just leave this thing with you all. Everyone, whoever is assigned to this thing, please type in your, like, just take this part, one part, and then work on that, and then post it here, and then we will correctly organize everyone to put their pull request, because this needs constant updation. So that's the only thing which I would say. All right.
All right.
Okay. Any other further last questions before we leave?
So for now, we will just discuss on wiki and servers.
Better. We can start discussing about these things, and let's go ahead with that. And yes, there are like couple of new ideas which we thought about. One is the star rating, one is the other thing which we can look into the meeting, and we will decide it. Okay, so it's going to be awesome then. Have a nice day, everyone. See you all. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye bye.